What's up, Villanova? Y'all gonna have to disregard me for a second because I laid these out. How y'all doing tonight? Yeah? Woo! Where are my seniors at? Yeah, now we're talking. My people. I don't know about any of y'all, but like I'm ready to get out of here, you know. I got this class ring brought, you know. I'm ready to go. I'm sick of these classes, okay? You know, the other week, I was walking to class, my morning class, early, tired, slow, and this woman walks past me, and I didn't think anything of it until she turned around with this like apologetic look on her face, and she said, "I'm so sorry, I mean pass you so aggressively like that." In my head, I'm just thinking like, that doesn't make any sense, like I wasn't gonna get mad. And in the very back of my head, I'm like, is this bitch trying to hit on me? But I played it cool. I was like, no, you're good. Like, I was just going to class. So it's not like I was in any hurry. And she said, oh, well, I'm going to a funeral, so I know. I was like, damn. Guess she wasn't trying to hit on me. But see, now I felt bad because like being around sad people makes me a little uncomfortable, you know, like I'm at a funeral or something. So I just started fucking with her. It is what it is. I was like, tell you what, I'll go to your funeral if you go to my aerodynamics class. And she said, not gonna work. I'm not doing that. And I said, yeah, see, class is worse, isn't it? But if you think about it, Villanova is kind of weird, you know, like it was founded in like 1842 by a bunch of Augustinian monks, but they were running a church here for like 40 years prior, which means somewhere down the road, they said, hey, yo, we got a good thing going here, you know, we spread the Augustinian teachings and spirit, do our Catholic shit, hold funerals, weddings. But I think what we really need to do is just get a bunch of horny, broke teenagers and just have them live around this whole surrounding area. That's not going to be weird at all. Now, don't mind me. And not only that, but they were thinking like, not only should we have them populate this surrounding area, but let's gaslight their stress by holding funerals next door while they're taking tests, you know? And that's passive-aggressive shit, bro. That's manipulative, okay? It's like when you're a kid and I didn't eat all my food or anything, my mom would be like, you know, kids in Africa would really love to have that food. And like, what do you say to that? You know, I'd always just be like, well, Mom, since we're comparing, I'm pretty sure from what I've heard, people in Africa can make better food than this. No, don't try to manipulate me into feeling bad for other people. It's never gonna work, you know? And as a current broke college kid, you know, let me tell you, food is scarce, all right? Like, I got a game plan now, and I'll share it all with you. Pretty much, I'll be in between classes, I'll be hungry. I don't use a meal swipe, okay? I just go gate crash somebody's funeral, grab a little communion wafer, take a couple shots of the holy blood of Christ. Yeah, it's a good time. But last time I did that, like one of the fathers got mad at me. He was like, dude, you cannot keep coming in here and taking communion every time there's a funeral. And I said, Father, you can't ever get too close to God. Just ask that guy. I know it's messed up. But like, they gotta take some responsibility. I mean, eventually I'm not gonna be able to resist the urge to figure out whether or not they leave the hearse unlocked. Look, I mean, I know you might not think it's fast or anything, but like, it could be surprisingly speedy without all that dead weight in the back. And I don't know, I think they gotta take some more responsibility, bro, because when they're not having funerals, they're out here hosting weddings, which means I'll be walking out of class after I just failed a test, you know, I'm out there kicking rocks and shit, because I failed. and I'll have to walk past like 5 of the happiest bridesmaids in the world as they're taking wedding photos. And so now there's just a bunch of wedding photos where I'm just in the background looking like I'm about to drop an album called like, man, fuck problem number 3. In a few years, like they'll look back at those pictures, see me in the background, they'll be like, it's kind of sad. One of us should have hit on him. I don't trust people who are always happy, bro. Like flight attendants, for example, can't trust them, okay? Nobody who's in the service industry has ever been that happy, ever. And these days, I like to sleep when I'm on planes, which means every time when they're wheeling that little ass cart through the aisle, I get tapped awake. You know, one of the flight attendants will be all happy and shit. She'll be like, "Excuse me, sir, I didn't mean to wake you up." Whoa, 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 whoa. God damn. She'll be like, "Excuse me, sir, I didn't mean to wake you up, but could I interest you in any mediocre snacks?" And like I said, I don't trust happy bitches at all. So I'll be squinting at her and shit like, "Let me get some pretzels. And apple juice. Pour it slowly." Nobody's ever been that happy on a plane before, bro. I mean, like, I could be, I'm not gonna lie. Like, but you know what it would take for me to be that happy on a flight? They gotta ban babies. It is what it is, alright? When you enter an airport, you gotta give your annoying kid away at the bag check, alright? They gotta weigh him, put him on the scale, slap a tag on the back of his head, and then put him on one of those little conveyor belts off the fuck nowhere. I don't know. And then, after you've gone through security, you can go and buy a new flight train baby just for the trip. Alright? Trial run. Maybe you didn't like your first one, alright? Maybe you always wanted a girl. Do whatever. I don't care. Then, on your return trip, you can go to the newly named baggage and baby claim, and you can pick up your kid from like that little spinny racetrack shaped like conveyor belt thing they got. And your kid will be having a blast. Like, he will barely notice you're gone, because he'll be thinking he's playing Mario Kart or something, going round and round, until he sees like the next suitcase coming down, and he'll be like, "Oh shit, red shell, red shell!" All I'm saying is, if you can't waltz through, if I can't waltz through security with like a half-filled water bottle, then you for sure shouldn't be able to bring a literal piss-making machine. It's just not right, okay? And look, if we're talking about security, babies are flight risks, okay? Whenever a plane gets hijacked, we ask all the wrong questions. We're like, who radicalized him? Your baby in the next seat, that's who, crying the whole damn flight. The flight was 3 hours long and your baby cried for 4. What the hell is wrong with you? It's enough to make any man break, I'm not gonna lie. I was on a flight a couple of months ago and there were 2 babies on the flight. They cried and screamed the entire time. They were out there competing for half the plane to hate them like it was a goddamn election. And their parents didn't care, they just let them roam around all the aisles and seats, just doing whatever they pleased. And I broke, I'm not gonna lie. I started praying. I said, "Lord, I know I usually wouldn't ask for this, but could you please bless this plane with some turbulence? Jesus, take the wheel." And I opened my eyes after I finished praying, and one of the kids was just like, he was next to me a couple seats over, and he was staring right at me, you know? And so I'm staring at him, he's staring at me, and this asshole smiles, and then starts going right back to crying, while still making eye contact with me, okay? And I was just like, I sat there in my head and I'm just thinking like, damn, what I wouldn't give to be able to open this window next to me right now and watch your ass get vacuum sucked out the plane. Call it a mile-high abortion. And there's only one thing when you're on a plane that's worse than being on a plane with like multiple babies that are crying and screaming, and that's being on the same flight with people crying and screaming but being seated next to an old lady. Not because there's anything wrong with old ladies, but because when you're seated next to an old lady, they're too nice, okay? I can't sit there and act as mad as I want to act with all this shit going on, because you're too nice. And so same flight, I was sitting next to this old lady, and and she was next to me, and it would have been fine, except elderly women you meet on planes only come with like 2 lines of dialogue, right? They either ask you how's school, or they hit you with, "You look like my grandson." And so like middle of the flight, I'm sitting there and she's showing me pictures of her grandson, and she hits me with the, "You seem like a nice boy. I hope my grandson grows up to be a nice young man like you one day." I'm like, in my head now, I gotta think like, first of all, being like me is a terrible thing to wish on a child. And second of all, this baby you're showing me is white. He looks nothing like what the hell? And then the flight ended, and after it landed, before she left, she was like, "I want you to have this." And she started reaching into her bag. And I was like, I got hyped. I was like, "Oh shit, I got me a sugar mama now." And she pulled out this card and handed it to me. And much to my disappointment, there was no money inside. But it just said, the card was from her church. It just said, "There's always a place for you here at this church. Jesus loves you." I got offended. I was like, what is this? What is this solicitation? I showed her my Villanova class ring, and I was like, "Excuse me, man, but I'm already taken." That's all I got for y'all today.